everybody, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to go ahead and do a review of a fragrance that is from a niche house. It's a smaller house that most people haven't heard of. I've done a review on their house once before. We're going to review something from Euphorium, Brooklyn. The fragrance we're going to touch upon today is called Chocolatl. Now, Chocolatl, I hope I'm pronouncing that one right, is it's a rather new fragrance. It was released last year in 2015. I still consider that a new fragrance. Its main kind of shtick and accord, as you can hear from the name, is chocolate and chocolate. So I'm always interested because I love chocolate and figured, you know what, I'll go ahead and review this fragrance. I've been meaning to review a couple more from this house, and I'm happy to actually go ahead and review this one. Now, it's available in two main sizes. The first size that it's available in is a 50 milliliter, and that's going to run you about $180. There's also a 30 milliliter that's going to run you $120. So this is an expensive fragrance. Now, as you're going to see, you won't actually need much of it. This is a very powerful fragrance, so I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. It's a strong fragrance, and you don't really need much of it to spray at all. So you're not really missing out on any if you're hankering for a fragrance that you can spray a lot, if you will. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the notes of this fragrance. Notes are listed up on screen. You can see they're very plentiful. There's a lot of notes listed here. And the really main draw for this fragrance, if we're talking about notes and the actual smell, chocolate and coffee, right there. Chocolate and coffee are the two main notes for this. And better than any fragrance that I have ever smelled so far, this does chocolate to the extreme. It smells basically like you are wearing, if you can think of a dark chocolate bar, this smells like dark chocolate. Semi-sweet dark chocolate, that's essentially it. With some coffee mixed in is what you're going to get for this. So this is the most accurate smelling dark chocolate fragrance that I've ever come across. Now, with all those notes that you see listed, I can actually detect traces of each of those notes in the fragrance. So, you know, those spices, they're coming up in the fragrance. I can still smell those spices in it, and you can pick out those notes. But overall, this smells like dark chocolate. You know, some spicy dark chocolate with a little bit of coffee mixed in. This fragrance actually got me thinking that this is actually a fragrance, and I actually use it for this purpose, that I would wear when sitting down and reading. Outside of a date fragrance, this is the only other scenario that I can think of. Date and sitting down and reading a book. It's very comforting. It's a fragrance that kind of soothes you down, and so I kind of imagine wearing this if you're wearing it on a date and you kind of want to almost calm yourself down a little bit and just kind of bring yourself back to earth. This is a fragrance that you can go ahead and put on. And it's also a fragrance that's nice to kind of, you know, sit down, have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee, sit down and read whatever book that you're reading. It's a great fragrance for that. I'm personally reading Game of Thrones right now just because I haven't read the book, and it just did excellent for it. So hats off to this fragrance. This is a great lounging fragrance. Now, most people aren't going to wear lounging fragrances or fragrance for lounging, if you will. So I understand if some people are like, you know, I'm not going to buy a fragrance for lounging, but I still think that it can also serve as a good date fragrance. Now, I go about 2 sprays with this one. Any more, you will choke yourself out. So just be careful with that. You won't even choke other people out. You choke yourself out. It's a good winter fragrance. In the summer and in the spring, it's a little bit harder to wear just because it feels more like a comforting fragrance, a fragrance that is more for you, if you will. I think that is a good fragrance for any age. No matter what age you are, I think you can pull this one off. No matter what sex you are, I think if you're a man or a woman, you can pull this one off just as equally. You smell like dark chocolate, you know. Compliments-wise, this did get compliments, believe it or not. Yes, this got compliments. The compliments were exactly what I thought they would be, and that's, you smell like chocolate. It smells like really good chocolate. Now, the one apprehension that some people had was, you know, I wouldn't want to actually wear this and smell like chocolate. So that's just one thing to kind of keep in mind. Now, the performance of this is great. Great longevity, great performance, and it's got good, you know, projection and everything like that for it. So it's got good performance kind of going for it as well, too. All right, so if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give this fragrance a rating a 7 out of 10. I think it's a very unique fragrance in what it does. There are fragrances that, you know, use chocolate in them, And there are fragrances that kind of mimic that chocolate and that coffeeness, but none really does it as well as this fragrance. This is just a pure chocolate scent. Now, the negative to this is, there are two main negatives to this. One, it smells just like chocolate. So its positive is its negative as well too. And I can understand why some people would not want to smell strictly like chocolate, which I really think this accomplishes, and it does it to a good deal. But it's also kind of its negative. The other negative thing is its cost. $180 to smell like chocolate, or $120 to smell like chocolate is not something that I think most people would stomach. But if you're looking for a unique fragrance, look no further from this. You like chocolate, looking for a unique fragrance, look no further from this. This will definitely be something that is unique within your collection. I do think Montal's Chocolate Greedy kind of does it, pretty good as well too. But this is a true chocolate scent, a true chocolate / coffee scent. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let me know what your thoughts. Try and get your nose on this fragrance. If you can get a sample or two, give it a try, see what you think about it, and if anything, it'll kind of give you some better background knowledge of the fragrance, and even of chocolate, if you will, in fragrances. I think it's a very interesting scent, at the very least. All right? So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys, take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.